Top 10 Sinister Conspiracy Theories About Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton is one of the most recognizable people in the world. After serving as First Lady, Senator, Secretary of State, and being the first woman nominated by a major party, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't know who Hillary Clinton is. But when you've sat on the front lines of history for so long, mingling with the richest and most powerful people in the world, it is almost inevitable that you'll find yourself wrapped up in a conspiracy or two. 10. First victim. Whether you love them or loathe them, there's no denying that the Clintons have played a major role in American and world history. From Bill's outstanding record on the economy to Hillary becoming the first female nominee of a major party, there are plenty of things that the Clintons will be remembered for. And whether they like it or not, the Lewinsky scandal is one of them. Although, if this theory is to be believed, they may not have much of a problem with that. According to Linda Tripp, the White House employee who secretly taped Lewinsky talking about her relationship with Bill, the scandal was less of a shock to Hillary than we believe. Not only does Tripp claim that Hillary was aware of the affair, but she also goes even further and says that every scandal that originated in the Clinton administration was the brainchild of Hillary. The apparent logic behind Tripp's accusations was that the scandal would improve Hillary's image, making her more relatable and drawing in sympathy from the public. If that was the plan, it certainly didn't work, as the affair has arguably done more damage to Hillary than either of the people who actually cheated. 9. Chelsea's father. Monica Lewinsky is not the only woman Bill has been accused of infidelity with, but she is the most well-known. And while there may be more than a few rumors swirling around about Bill, he's not the only member of the marriage who is alleged to have strayed from their vows. According to the likes of Donald Trump and Roger Stone, Hillary was less than faithful as well. Stone even goes so far as to name two of the men Hillary is alleged to have slept with, Vince Foster and Webb Hubbell. While Vince Foster may be a more famous name, it is Webb Hubbell who is really at the heart of this theory, as he is purported to be Chelsea's real father. 8. Hillary the lesbian. Probably one of the more well-known Hillary conspiracies, the theory that she is gay goes all the way back to her time as First Lady of Arkansas. This theory most likely started as a result of her being an ambitious career woman in the 80s, when being gay would have been a real spanner in the works of any political career, not least in Arkansas. 4. The fact that the Clintons only had one child is often used as evidence that their marriage is a sham, as are the rumors of Bill's frequent dalliances with other women, which many claim is due to the couple's open marriage arrangement. One of these women, Jennifer Flowers, claims that Bill told her that Hillary is bisexual, and has eaten more pussy than he had. Another, Dolly Kyle, claimed Bill told her Hillary wanted a baby to distract people from her lifestyle and convince everyone that they were a real couple. When asked about these rumors on The Howard Stern Show, Hillary replied that she had never even been tempted. 7. Hillary 2.0. If you were to ask someone to name the top 5 most shocking moments of the 2008 or 2012 campaigns, they'd probably struggle to 3. Birtherism could qualify, but the most memorable moment of that is probably John McCain shooting down one of his own supporters. Maybe that time Rick Perry forgot the third branch of government he wanted to eliminate. That was funny. If you were to ask the same question about 2016, you'd probably struggle to limit it to 5. Of the many shocking moments in that campaign, one of the most memorable has to be when Hillary fainted at the 9/11 memorial. To her opponents, this was proof of what they had been saying all along, that she was not in good enough health to serve as president. But apparently seeing her faint wasn't proof enough, as when Hillary re-emerged several hours later, a new theory was posited, that wasn't the real Hillary. 6. Unhealthy Hillary. The fainting incident, which is said to have been a result of pneumonia, is far from the only time Hillary's health has been called into question. When she suffered a concussion in 2012, the theory was that it was faked in order to avoid testifying at the Benghazi hearings. Once she had testified, the theory switched to the concussion being real and Hillary being unfit for office. A blood clot in 2013 then led to speculation that she had suffered neurological damage, again making her ineligible to be president. Those incidents, combined with the fainting, led to speculation that Hillary could have Parkinson's disease, or something similar. This was supported by a leaked email that mentioned Provigil, a drug often used by people with Parkinson's disease. However, the drug is used to treat fatigue, not neuromuscular symptoms, and it is a matter of public record that Barack Obama used it during his presidency, probably as a way to get more work done. As Hillary is the only nominee in history to release their medical records, this theory stands up about as well as Hillary at the memorial. 5. The Clinton plant. While a lot of the conspiracy theories surrounding Hillary have common threads, such as being a sex fiend or knocking on death's door, there is one thread that runs through every single theory out there: it's all so she can become president. With Hillary ultimately facing off against Donald Trump, indisputably the most unconventional nominee in history and a magnet for conspiracy theories, it was almost inevitable that the two would star opposite each other in a shared conspiracy. Namely, the theory that Trump was a Clinton plant. This theory doesn't require as much stretching of the imagination as many of the others. Quite simply, theorists on the left and right have pointed to the long, friendly, and publicly established relationship between the Trumps and the Clintons. They attended his wedding, he donated to their foundation, and they were clearly friends long before they became enemies. 4. The impeachment plan. As funny as it may be to think that such a grand conspiracy could go so drastically wrong, true conspiracy theorists won't let themselves be distracted by humor. After all, the best way to convince people that something isn't an issue is to make them laugh it off. So what if Hillary's plan didn't go hilariously wrong? What if this was the plan? The phone call conspiracy is pretty straightforward. Donald says and does lots of terrible things in the name of the Republican Party, splitting the party in two, and setting those who supported him up for tough re-election bids. Hypothetically, this would cause an identity crisis for the GOP and move it more towards the center, giving Democrats an easy ride for a few years. But according to one White House source, courtesy of Playboy's White House correspondent, Hillary was playing a much longer game. Rather than using candidate Trump to damage the Republican Party, she wanted to use President Trump to destroy it. To do this, she colluded with the Russians to ensure that she lost the election, and then pinned it all on Donald. Once the Trump-Russia story was out there, all they had to do was sit back and wait for impeachment. Whether Hillary plans to run again remains to be seen, but if you believe any of this is true, that is the only logical conclusion. 3. The Clinton body count. Apart from her theorized lesbianism, the Clinton body count is probably the most well-known conspiracy surrounding both Bill and Hillary out there. The theory has grown a bit since then, and while there is too much to dissect fully here, we can still convey the main points. The theory kicks off with the aforementioned Vince Foster, one of Hillary's supposed non-lesbian lovers, who was found dead in a park with a gunshot wound to the head in 1993. Proponents of the Clinton body count theory claim that this was not a suicide, but a murder, either to cover up the affair or to prevent Foster from implicating the new first couple in any crimes. The subsequent decades are filled with over 50 names of apparent victims of this scheme, ranging from political allies who couldn't be trusted to reporters who knew too much. The next major death was that of Seth Rich, a DNC staffer who was shot during an attempted robbery in 2016. Julian Assange hinted that Rich was behind the WikiLeaks DNC email leaks and that he was taken out as punishment. You may remember Sean Hannity pushing this theory until his advertisers forced him to stop at the request of the Rich family. Rudy Giuliani also floated the theory but said the family is in some degree of pain is no reason to stop. 2. The Sinister Sisters. If you have anything more than a passing interest in U.S. politics, you're probably already familiar with Hillary's number one aide, Huma Abedin. Although she is an extremely accomplished career woman in her own right, you may remember her as the wife of pedophile Anthony Weiner, the unfortunately named Democrat who kept getting caught up in a myriad of underage sexting scandals. With Huma working as Hillary's right-hand woman, and Anthony a rising star in the Democratic Party, theirs was always rumored to be a marriage of political convenience. And according to one theory, there may be a reason Anthony sought attention from women other than his wife, as Huma has long been rumored to be one of Hillary's lesbian lovers. This allegation popped up every time Anthony found himself caught up in another sexting scandal, until their eventual divorce in 2017, which led to many jokes about how Huma was done with Weiner. But according to famed conservative commentator Rush Limbaugh, there is more to Hillary and Huma's relationship than pure sexual dynamism. 1. Secret police. Perhaps the most memorable conspiracy moment in Hillary's life is one that turned out to be true, the infamous vast right-wing conspiracy that Bill was having an affair with a White House intern. Ever since that scandal came to light, Hillary has been roundly criticized for her attempts to discredit the women making accusations against her husband. But according to one of Bill's former advisors, it didn't stop there. Throughout multiple books and interviews, Dick Morris makes reference to what he calls the secret police, claiming Hillary built up a secret police for the purposes of conducting a systematic campaign to intimidate, frighten, threaten, discredit and punish innocent Americans whose only misdeed is their desire to tell the truth.